were some of the guitar players that you tried to emulate growing up?
Well, I loved Hendrix, Dwayne Allman and Dickie Betts and the Allman Brothers, how I learned how to play.
Fantastic.
But, you know, it's funny, my guitar heroes really was Al McKay, who's a guitarist with Earth, Wind & Fire. Nile Rodgers was Chic. I learned so much from
How about
listening
that?
to him.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that.
See, I was in Miami in the late 70s. I went to school at University of Miami. And that's where the Bee Gees ruled. They lived in Miami. So Saturday Night Fever was out. So one of the funny things, I moved back to North Carolina in 1980. And people were talking about the Police. I was like, who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about. And they're like, you know, Message in a Bottle, Roxanne. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've been listening to Quincy Jones, the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind & Fire. South Florida was Disco City. Well, so I was exposed to the Police on their third album. I was like, wow, these guys are
really
great.
good. Yeah, Synchronicity is a good album.
Well, this was Zenyatta Madada with the do-do-do and Don't Stand. Yeah. I cut my teeth on disco and soul music. The South being very integrated, I was constantly exposed to James Brown, Al Green, Aretha Franklin.
Okay.
So that's really where my love lies. I love rhythmic music. So the first 45 I ever owned was a Beatles 45. It was on the old green Capitol label before they were orange and yellow. And it had 2 songs on each side, 4 by the Beatles. And Roll Over Beethoven was one of the things on it. So Chuck it was them channeling Chuck Berry. But when you get 4 young British guys trying to sound like Chuck Berry, you get the Beatles.
I think the Beatles, they really wanted to be a different version of Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Because you got Crickets and Beatles, right? Makes a lot of sense.
I have a friend that's a few years older than me. And Buddy Holly and Elvis kind of never really did it for me, but he is a few years older and he tells me, Jeff, if you had been there when that came out. And that's what I tell people about Prince, because now Prince might sound a little dated.
Amazing.
If you had been around when Prince hit the scene, it was blowing your mind. He's my all-time favorite artist. With all due respect to the Beatles and Stevie Wonder, Prince is my guy.
Listen, what are you most proud of, and what is that one little tidbit that you might stick out with somebody?
Well, I was surrounded by some all-star musicians. Branford Marsalis was in the band, great piano player Kenny Kirkland, Mino Sinaloo on percussion, who would play with Miles Davis in Weather Report. So I was in way over my head with guys. And when I try to humbly explain it to people, and they accuse me of being self-deprecating, I go, no, you don't get it. You know, just because you're on the Chicago Bulls doesn't mean you're Michael Jordan. There is a level of players that you bow down to, and you're happy to be a supporting cast member for those people. So it was great. It was great to see the world. I'd never been off the Eastern Seaboard, so I got to see the world and got paid to do it. Had a lot of laughs. My musicianship improved immensely being around great players, the cream of the cream. You know, it was an incredible experience. But I guess, you know, the thing I always come back to is when I tell people, it's like, it's about camaraderie and personalities and people skills, getting along with people, being on the road, you're eating together, you're traveling together. And I always say to people, it's like, try to be nice.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one.
As I say in the book, it's like, everybody at the audition knows how to play or they wouldn't be there. So people skills can make or break the game.
That's right.
To me, it's service. You help people and you feel better.
That's exactly.
And make other people look good. And I will say that, you know, not to digress, but, you know, Sting gets kind of a bum rap of being having a big ego and all that.
I mean, when he says that he can, you know, please a woman for hours on hours, and for you, I heard 10 seconds.
But his wife said 25. That includes dinner. But Sting let the band shine. He let us shine, and that's, you know,
he got it.
He's generous, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, and so I try to be generous to people. I try to count my blessings. Gratitude is what keeps me going every day, you know, because you're right. A lot of people don't have it near as well as us. I try to, you know, count my blessings every day.